All right, you guys. I have sat down to record this video for you guys like 5 times and been distracted every time. But I know God has a purpose, a meaning of whatever, a plan for all of that. So here I am. Um, it is Monday, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about where your focus is. I know that whether you just joined our boot camp as a brand new challenger, or maybe you've been doing this for a few weeks, we are all at different points in this journey, but we all come to the exact same points too. So I was sharing with my team about something earlier, about how when we start anything different, like we go through behavior changes, that we go through these actual steps. There are different stages of our transition, right? And so you guys know I love personal development. It's one of my favorite things. Started doing it for my business, but then I was like, holy goodness, this has a huge impact on just my personal life, on my fitness, on my nutrition. And so one of my favorite books by Brian P. Morgan is called The 12-Week Year. And I was reading this for my business, but I got to this point about halfway through the book. The chapter is called The Execution System. And he went over this thing called the emotional cycle of change. And what he said was that there are 5 stages that we go through emotionally when we change our behavior, which is exactly what we're doing here in this health and fitness boot camp, right? We're trying to change our habits. We're trying to change, get rid of, walk away from, say goodbye to old behaviors that have gotten us stuck in a rut that is no longer working for us, right? Probably never was working for us. And it's hard. Changing habits, changing behaviors is hard, you guys. But I want to explain how when you expect the hard, that you make it through to the other side. And that's really important, you guys. And I also want to share some tips before I'm done for actually helping you shift your focus and shift what you're telling yourself and what you're doing so you can better set yourself up for success so that you do get to the other side. But the 5 stages that he said that we go through, which you are totally going to understand this as I go through it. The first stage when we start to change our behavior is called uninformed optimism, which means that we get really excited when we start something new, right? So when you reached out to me or your coach, or you signed up for your challenge pack, you made that awesome investment in your health. You were like, heck yeah, I'm getting started. You logged into Beachbody On Demand. You found some workouts. You probably did one within 24 hours. When your Shakeology got here, you probably posted a picture in our group and shared your first Shakeology picture. And your first week was probably super duper exciting. And then week 2 got here. And if you're brand new, it's going to get here. So just expect it. And you moved into the stage called informed pessimism, which means that, holy goodness, this is going to take work. Yes, I still have this big goal. Yes, I want to do all the things I said before, but this is going to be harder because I just drove past Sonic and that Snickers blast is like calling my name. Or I just drove through the Zaxby's drive-thru to get my kids some chicken before they go to basketball practice, and that fried food is like, it needs to be in my body. Right? If you're anything like me. And so you're realizing that it's going to be hard, and you're not really sure if you want to stick with the hard so that you can get to those goals that you had originally, right? That's informed pessimism, where you start to question your decision and is it worth it, right? The third stage after that comes is the valley of despair, insert, right? The valley of despair, which is where you're like, I can't do this. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I went to that Super Bowl party yesterday and I ate all the food that I said I was not going to anymore. And I didn't just eat it. I went back and had 3 plates of it. And I'm in the valley of despair. And you may have said, I'm not getting up and working out tomorrow. I'm just going to give my bag of Shakeology away to somebody else. I'm going to go back to what I was doing before and just be happy with the extra weight, the extra pounds, the cholesterol medicine, and just be here, right? So that's the valley of despair. And we have all been there. I've been there in the past 4.5 years more than once. I assure you, this last month has been hard for me, you guys. I don't want anybody to look at me and think, oh, Rachel, it's easy for her. She can make the best choices. She stays on track. She gets the results. No, my PMS this last week and a half, I have wanted to eat all the food and drink all the wine, quite honestly. That's what I wanted to do. And I got off track a little bit. Honestly, I got off track this last week, but I also stayed on track the majority of the time because I've learned to expect that those emotions are going to come. I've learned to expect that this is how I'm going to feel. I've learned to expect that and get the crap out of my house, the crap food, I mean, and not have it there so that I'm not reaching for it when I know my defenses are going to fall because my emotions are a little bit wacky because of my premenstrual cycle, right? And so the valley of despair, it's real for all of us. And so if you're there, or if you found yourself there, or if you're about to go into it, expect it, sweet friend. Know that it's just part of the change process. And if you can push through, you can pray through, if you can ask us to help you and pray for you, you will get through to the next stage, okay, which is informed optimism. All right, so the fourth stage of these behavior changes is informed optimism. You come out of that valley of despair. So like for me personally, like when my period comes, it's like it all just like fades. All those emotions, all those struggles, all those cravings, they just go away, and I want the healthy food again, right? And so maybe you did bomb yesterday. Maybe you bombed at the Super Bowl party. Maybe you ate all the pizza. It's a new day, girl. It's a new day. Today is the day where you start that stage of informed optimism, which means I know it's going to take a lot of work. I know it's going to be hard. I know I can do it because I did it for the first 2 weeks, right? I know I can stick with this, and I know that binge eating like I did this weekend does not feel good. It does not make me feel good physically, mentally, or spiritually, and I don't want to stay there. So I have the knowledge. I know it's going to work. I know it's going to be hard work, and I know that I want it, and so I'm going to keep moving forward. That's informed optimism. The last stage is called success and fulfillment. That's where, no, we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I still have really bad days. I still have days where I go completely off plan. I still have weekends where I still, lose that whole weekend warrior status. But there's success. There has been success in my physical fitness. There has been success in my mental stamina, but there's also been success in my spiritual transformation. And that is something that I really want you guys to think about, because this is not just a transformation of your body that you're going through. This is a refinement process in your body, in your brain, and in your soul, you guys. Like, we have our souls forever. This body is just temporarily on loan. And so we're here because we want to be good stewards of that temporary gift that God has given us, right? But when our life comes to a close, like it's not going to matter if we wore a size 4 pants when we were 40 years old. What's going to matter is that we leaned into the process, that we allowed God to refine us, that when it got hard, we didn't run away and quit, but we asked Him for help, that we leaned on each other, and we came out of it stronger. And we came out of it with more knowledge. And honestly, we came out of it able to help encourage other people. That's what this is about, you guys. This is a transformation process that isn't just going to be 21 days or 6 weeks or 8 weeks. It's a transformation process that can last till your dying day, quite honestly. And so I want you to look at it that way and not be discouraged when the road bumps come, because they will come. But you are strong. Our Savior gives us that strength. He tells us we are strong in Him and we can do this. And it is worth doing. It is worth more than that 15-second satisfaction that comes from eating that glazed donut that melts in your mouth like cotton candy. Like, it is worth more than that temporary feeling of pleasure. I promise you. Okay. And so just a tip that I want to help you with when it comes to mindset, when it comes to really taking control, especially when you've gone through that informed pessimism and that valley of despair. Like, how do you get out of it? How do you get out of it, right? It doesn't, a lot of times we're just like, okay, I won't think about the Oreos, I won't think about the donuts, but it doesn't you can't stop thinking about something by trying to stop thinking about it, right? The only way that you're going to not think about the donut or the Oreos or whatever it is, you have to replace it with something else. You have to feed the positive energy. You have to feed the positive thoughts, and you have to replace the negative thoughts. And so it's the same thing with food. Like, you can't, girl, like, trust me, please tell me you don't have like your kryptonite sitting in your pantry right now and saying, I know I can resist it. I know I can resist it. I'm going to leave it there for my family, for my kids, or for a treat whenever I earn it, but I know I can resist it, and I'm just going to try not to think about it. I'm just going to try not to eat it. No, you have to get it out of your house. You have to get it out of your house, and you have to replace it with something that you can eat that will fuel your body and that will make you stronger and give you confidence in your choices. So for me, example, I love, like, whenever, especially when my period is coming, like, I love chocolate. Like, I love chocolate and Cool Whip. Like, I could eat a whole tub of Cool Whip, the nasty, oily kind. I don't know why. I know it's gross, but, like, that's what I want, with some chocolate chips sprinkled on top and maybe some nuts. Maybe that makes me feel healthy. But if that's in my house, like, I will eat it. I don't have the self-control whenever my hormones are wacky to resist it. So I have to get it out of my house, and I have to have an alternative. So for me, the alternative is that if I want something sweet, I want something like cold and something like that, then I keep berries in my house, and I will pour a little bit of almond milk with some stevia over it, and I might put like a couple of chocolate chips on there and some nuts. That is my sweet treat. That's what I go to, right? So you can't just try to will yourself away from the temptation. You have to do away with the temptation, and you have to replace it with something else. And it works, because this weekend was right before my period came, and I stood in my pantry so many times looking for that sweet fix, And you know what? There was none to be found. None for me, none for my kids. They don't need it anyways. And I didn't end up eating a whole bunch of food that I would only regret. Okay. And also, as I stood in my pantry thinking these things, I actually thought about you guys, and I was like, oh, please, God, please, I pray that they have eliminated their greatest temptations. I pray that they trust me and they trust this process, and that they're learning that in order to be strong, we sometimes have to take massive action, right? In order to get the results that we want in our health and our fitness or whatever it is, we have to take action to make sure that we're going to get there. We can't just wish for it. All right. And so I also thought about one more thought before I go, but I also thought about Daniel in the book of Daniel. Whenever, he goes and he lives with the king and they want him to eat this food, he doesn't say, okay, put both of them in front of me and I'll try just to eat the healthy food. He said, no, take the king's food away. Put the good food in front of me, and this is what I'm going to eat, and this is what's going to make me stronger. So same thing, you guys. We can't be going to Wendy's if that's our greatest temptation and saying, no, I'm going to try to eat the salad and not eat the kids' fries. No, you don't go to Wendy's. You don't go to Wendy's. You go to Subway and you get a salad, or you go to another restaurant that's not your favorite restaurant and you get something that is rich in protein, rich in vegetables, and you eat that instead. And you know what? You will change your taste buds. Your body will thank you. You will come out of this just so much stronger and with so much more belief in the fact that you can stick with this. All right. So that is my Monday motivation. That is this is probably coming to you about lunchtime. And if you did go way off track this weekend, you may be thinking, just forget it. I'm going to go eat the burger and fries, what I like to eat, what my body's telling me to eat, because that's what I've been putting in it. Well, your coach, Rachel, is saying, don't do it. Don't do it. Replace the bad food with the good food, and eliminate the temptation and move forward, sister. Move forward. You are worth it. You are loved with the greatest love possible by your Creator. And if He loves you enough to give His Son for you, then He loves you enough for you to take care of you, and you are worth it. Okay. So lean into that today. No food is going to satisfy your soul like making better choices that God wants for you. I promise. Okay. Have a good day. Bye.